Sarah is my name. Tom, my husband, and I have been married for 2 years. I had hoped to start a family by now, but we have yet to be blessed with children. I enjoy my job and it gives me a sense of purpose in life though, so I'm not in a hurry to have children, but it's different for Tom. Tom recently expressed his disappointment at me in not yet having children. How soon will you be expecting a child? Please, for God's sake, hurry up. My mother is excited about it. I went to the hospital, but nothing was wrong with me. If you insist, let's have you checked out as well. You're implying that I'm the reason you can't have children? It can't be my fault. How do you know? There are a lot of families whose men are the cause. There's no way I'm the reason for this problem. Don't bring it up again. Then, since neither of us is infertile, consider it a gift and let's take our time and wait a little longer. Why are you being so easy on yourself? My mother needs to see her grandchild as soon as possible. Tom is pressured by his mother every time he sees her. Is my grandchild here yet? He is still refusing to go to the hospital to be examined, which is causing problems. And for some reason, he's convinced he's not infertile. I was so concerned, I went for another checkup, but there was nothing specific that needed to be treated. Tom didn't seem to understand that we only have one chance to have a child each month, and kept asking me if we could have a child yet. I was tired of him asking me, "Are you ready for a baby yet?" Mom told me the same thing today. She said she wished she could see the face of her grandchildren as soon as possible. Again? Please hurry up. Mom is looking forward to it. There's no way to hurry up. Even when we're having a normal conversation, we always end up having the same conversation. And then we start fighting. We have had fewer and fewer conversations as a couple over time. Perhaps it was because we didn't talk much, but we had a lot of problems like this. Mom is on her way over. What? Right now? What does it matter? If she's coming, please let me know ahead of time so I can prepare. You're talking a lot. She has a message for you. Is it about kids again? This is enough for me. I don't mind. I'm not sure. That's what I'm told every time I see her. It's your fault we can't have children, so please, explain it to her. My mother-in-law entered the room as we were having this conversation. I'm sorry to have bothered you, and here you have it. My mother-in-law then came in and handed me something. What is this? You can see for yourself. They're a belly band and a lucky charm. What is the purpose of a belly band? It's critical to keep your stomach cool when trying to conceive, so make use of it. It's too hot to be wearing a fuzzy belly band in the summer. That's the wrong attitude to have. This room is too cold because of the air conditioning. It chills your stomach. Sorry. And how do you use this amulet? It's a lucky charm from a well-known temple for children. After praying there, I heard that a celebrity had a baby. It appeared to bring good luck, so I drove all the way there yesterday, despite the distance. You didn't have to go that far. Don't be so concerned. Just because you're so laid back. I'm looking forward to seeing my grandchildren. As I previously said, I went to the hospital and it was not me. I explained it again to my mother-in-law, but no matter how many times I told her, she didn't get the message. Tom was sitting a good distance away from us, pretending as if it was none of his business. Why don't you get pregnant then? I'm not sure why you're asking. Why don't you try another hospital for another checkup? Why not seek treatment at a more specialized hospital? I'll see what I can do to find you a better one. You don't have to do that. I'm positive it's not Tom, so I can only think it's because of you. Tom has not yet been examined. How are you so certain he is not infertile? Because Tom, who was supposedly not listening, abruptly cut the conversation short. "Mom, don't say unnecessary things," he advised. "Sorry." My mother-in-law abruptly stopped speaking after that. "I'm sure a package will be delivered by courier tomorrow, so please receive it. I just wanted to get this to you today, so I'm leaving." My mother-in-law then left me with only a belly wrap and a charm to protect the child. The following day, when the package arrived, I laughed. Inside were all the good luck charms I needed to have a child. "Your mother sent a package to me." "What was inside?" "Pomegranates, herring, roe, and peaches." "What made her send those?" "All three are considered lucky foods and are said to bring good fortune to have children." "I see. Mom must be desperate to see her grandchildren." "I understand her emotions, but it's a bit much." "Why are you talking that way about Mom? She is genuinely excited about the birth of her grandchild." "Don't you think you're under pressure as well?" "Yes, but it's not my concern. It's none of my business. It has nothing to do with me." "What do you mean it has nothing to do with you? It's between us because we're a couple." "It's your fault you are unable to have children, so no, it is none of my business." "It's all my fault that I can't get pregnant. But I've been to the hospital and they say nothing is wrong with me." "So why don't you go to another hospital and get a thorough examination like my mom suggested? Why don't you ask her to help you find a good hospital?" "The hospital where I went was a well-known fertility clinic." "Perhaps it's just well-known. It could be a charlatan." "If you're going to say that, why don't we ask your mom to find one?" "Finally, you're willing to go through with it." "Yes, if you will get checked out as well." "Why should I go to the hospital?" I couldn't figure out why Tom was so sure of himself. Then I was told something I didn't know before. "I've never told you anything, but you've been suspecting me for a long time, and I'm tired of hiding it, so I will tell you." "What is that?" "This is actually my second marriage." "What? What exactly do you mean?" I was so surprised that I sounded stupid in my reply. "I divorced 2 years ago before I got married to you." "How come you didn't tell me?" "Well, I got divorced because my partner cheated on me. She didn't ask for child support or anything, and so I didn't think it was necessary to tell you." "Do you mean to imply that you have children?" "A son, yes. I've never seen him since he was born following the divorce." "I'm confused. I can't follow what you said." "That shows that I'm not incapable of having children." "That's why you were so certain that you weren't?" "I'm offended that you believe it's because of me." "But it's not impossible that you became infertile during the 2 years following your divorce." "You still want to point the finger at others. You are the problem, so admit it and take action." "I am not referring to admitting or not admitting." "You're starting to irritate me." Thus, in my second year of marriage, I discovered for the first time that Tom was divorced and had a child. Even after hearing that story, I wasn't totally convinced that I was to blame for my inability to have children. I decided to learn more about Tom. I'll tell him I want a divorce after I finish my research. I couldn't stay with Tom any longer. I tried my hardest not to talk to Tom because he was always saying hurtful things to me. Of course, we would never have conjugal relations under such circumstances, so I could never get pregnant. My mother-in-law, who was unaware of the situation, continued to pressure me. Tom then approached me one day. He looked irritated. By now, I'm used to being treated with disdain. He opened his mouth. "I am currently thinking about a divorce. I don't like spending time with you because we don't talk anymore and all we do is fight. And we can't have children no matter how long I wait." I was taken aback by his abrupt statement, but I responded calmly. "What? That's fine. What? Tom was perplexed by my response for some reason. He must have expected me to say I don't want a divorce. Here are the divorce papers. I've already completed all of the required fields. What? Why is it already completed? I filled them out so that I could divorce you whenever I wanted. Do you want to get a divorce? Yes. I was only half kidding. I'm not looking for a joke. Do you really want a divorce? You said it yourself. I didn't expect it to end this way. Did you expect me to sob and say I didn't want a divorce? Yes. We don't talk much anymore, so I thought this would be a good time to talk things through and make amends. So why didn't you just say that from the beginning? I want things to return to how they were. That's impossible. I'll divorce you right now if that's what you want. That is something I do not want you to do. I'm not sure what you meant when you told me you wanted a divorce. Tom continued to complain, despite the fact that he had told me he wanted a divorce. Despite the futility of the situation, our discussions continued. Then my mother-in-law arrived in good timing. What's going on all of a sudden? I went out with some friends and brought you some souvenirs. Souvenirs? She presented me with another amulet. I went to a different childbirth shrine, so I brought you back a souvenir. I've been praying there, and I'm confident it will bring you good fortune this time. We don't need this anymore. My mother-in-law's face lit up at these words. She looked to have misinterpreted something. I had a feeling things were about to get complicated again. Well, whatever. Does this imply that you no longer require it? What? Finally, I suppose it's because of all my efforts. I'm so relieved. It is partly correct. We have to go again to pray our appreciation. My mother-in-law stood in front of me, a happy expression on her face. Tom stood next to me, his eyes downcast, saying nothing. I was anticipating how dissatisfied my mother-in-law would be with my next words. What exactly is it? Don't be so bold as to tell me what I think you're going to say. We've decided to divorce. What? Divorce? Yes. I assumed you were expecting a child. What do you mean that you're divorcing? We were just discussing it. Was this a sudden decision? Not at all. I've been considering it for quite some time. Are you going to flee because you can't have children? That is not the reason I am divorcing him. But that's okay. If you are incapable of getting pregnant, it's better for him to divorce you and marry a second woman. It will be a third marriage, not a second marriage. You knew that? I found out about it the other day. His ex-wife became pregnant shortly after they divorced. Okay. So I can only conclude that you were the culprit. If you leave, I will be relieved. I see. Tom has always been popular with the girls. He'll soon find a partner. Hopefully, our next meeting will result in a pregnancy. So if you've already made up your mind, get divorced as soon as possible. I'm leaving. You two discuss the rest. My mother-in-law then left. She walked away without knowing the truth. We carried on our conversation. Let's file the divorce papers right away so we can be divorced. I want to have children soon, and now I realize I dislike spending time with you. Let's go ahead and get divorced. Then quickly write it. I handed him the papers to complete his part. All I needed to do was turn them in. Tom, by the way, you will have to leave the house when we divorce. What? Why? I'm making mortgage payments. Have you forgotten? My parents paid off the loan and bought this house all at once. You were simply repaying my parents' loan. I was. So you're leaving because of this. I believe we had quite a bit of money saved up. I don't have any money saved up. But didn't you say you had approximately 10 million? That is the money I saved when I was single. As a result, it is not included in the property division. As a result, neither the house nor the money will be mine. That's correct. Well, it doesn't matter. You're taking a new path. Yes. In addition, I'm going to sue you and your mother for emotional distress. What? Why? For so long, you've treated me like a defective human being, saying horrible things to me. It's the truth. Do you really believe I'm the reason I couldn't conceive? It's self-evident. I have a biological child. I told Tom, who had no idea what was going on, everything. It appears that your child from your ex-wife is not yours. What nonsense are you talking about? I was curious about Tom's partner after learning that his marriage to me was not his first, so I searched his house for clues. Soon after, I discovered a picture. Tom is the type of person who keeps old memories rather than discarding them, and I discovered a few memories in the back of a drawer in his work desk. I looked up her name on social media. Fortunately, I got a hit right away. I quickly discovered what kind of person Tom's ex-wife was. Isn't this your ex-wife? I showed him the screen from SNS. Tom looked surprised. It was no surprise. Is the child in this picture your child? Tom was perplexed. I went on with my story. This child clearly has a foreign face. I was looking at your ex-wife's SNS and her husband is from another country. I'm not familiar with him. It seems that they're living abroad. I divorced my ex-wife without much debate because she cheated on me. But before the divorce, she got pregnant and claimed it's our child. I'm pretty sure it was his child. Really. In any case, you have no biological children. Is it possible that I am the reason you are unable to have children? That, I believe, is most likely the case. I did go to another hospital and my body was fine. I'm also going to get checked out. Will you drop the divorce and go through treatment with me if I'm the reason you haven't been able to conceive? Why would I do that? I've already completed the divorce paperwork. I'll simply file them tomorrow. Don't say that. I still like you. You don't like being around me, do you? If you're so popular, you'll find someone new soon, as your mother predicted. Let's talk about it again. I'm going to file for divorce tomorrow, and I'd like you to pack your belongings and leave this week. Oh, no. Didn't you say you wanted a divorce? I'll consult with my attorney about alimony. You'll have a message later. I filed for divorce the next day. We had become strangers. Tom packed his belongings and reluctantly left the house to his parents' place. Tom seems not to have informed his mother that he may have been the reason he is unable to have children. His mother has been nagging him to remarry as soon as possible after the divorce because she wants to see her grandchildren. If he does marry again, I pity his next wife. His mother will undoubtedly put a lot of pressure on that next person for not being able to have children. Since my divorce, I've been working harder than ever at the job I like. I sold the house I shared with Tom. Fortunately, I was able to sell it for a high price, so I repaid my parents the money I had set aside, as well as the alimony I received from Tom and his mother. I'm living in an apartment. I am dating my coworker, who was originally a good friend of mine at work and was listening to me talk about my divorce. and now we're living together in an apartment. If I could marry this man, I hope that we would be blessed with children and that I'll be happy next time.